All right, my friends, what is going on, you guys? We're just going to pretend that last stream did not exist. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing all right here for today. Glad to have you guys here for all right. Like I said, obviously, we had a little bit of a problem with the last stream. Let's hope that it's okay now. And if it cuts out again, well, we'll just have to continue this tomorrow. But anyways, guys, glad to have you guys here back again. Once again, sorry about that. You just never know with the internet when it's going to cut out. I mean, it literally cut out midstream, like when we were talking about like one of the most important part. Anyways, regardless, everybody, hope you're doing all right. Let's go ahead and kick right on back into it. Let's go ahead and see who is back or here for today, depending on if you're here for the first stream or not. We have ourselves Courtney, we have Weather Sim, we have Caden, we have Rain, we have Marantha, right? Okay, I'm just going to go with that. Crystal Miller is here as well. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you guys here. So, anyway, we have a bit to talk about regarding snow, regarding some severe weather, as well as the West. And the current situation that is occurring across portions of California, absolutely nuts. Very crazy. Richard's here. What's up? Glad to have you here. Let's go ahead and see here. Zion is here, sitting back. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Liam's here. What's up, everybody? So first of all, like I said, we've been watching across California for the last while. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. There's been a lot of rain moving its way across the country here, or across California here, really causing a lot of extreme flooding for these regions. I mean, this part of California has seen so much rainfall in the last week or so. It's been nuts. And unfortunately, it looks like that is going to continue to be the case here over the next several days, and it really kind of sucks. We are seeing this, this big old line move through California right now. Like I said, obviously, actually transitioning into snowfall for those upper elevations, which is a little bit nasty, per se. But we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the future models. Like I said, here's the future radar based off of things. If you want to take a look at the time, it's just right up there, guys. Following along in Eastern time. So just simply subtract 4 hours if you want to look at a specific location, or a specific time frame, I should say. Anyways, tracking our way down here in time, all this rain kind of fizzles out here basically by, pretty much early morning, late tonight here for the most part. But then we're going to have immediately another low pressure system move in, really kind of starting, as soon as the first one moves out. Honestly, potentially kicking off a lot more heavy snow for those upper elevations, as well as some more rain for places of the coastal, Carolina region, or the coastal California region. And obviously that's something we're going to watch out for. Now, all this moisture will continue on an easterly track, obviously continuing to allow for some snowfall to fall across the upper elevations, perhaps allowing for some decent accumulations at the mountaintops, in which we're going to have to watch out for. But as all this moisture kicks its way here to the east, we are going to have a new low-pressure system develop across portions of the central country, which we'll dive down a model to show you, or dive down a run. This low-pressure system will track its way here to the east, and eventually this will cause some storms to fire off in the south, as well as the potential of some more snow, perhaps across portions here of the north. So we're going to switch this to the GFS model. We're going to go ahead and zoom out to the United States view. As we track our way down here in time, you can see the cold front really starts kicking off here for basically portions of the afternoon of the 12th, starting to kick off potential storms towards like Louisiana, portions of Mississippi, maybe Tennessee, and some of the around those regions. So the Tennessee Valley area, the southeast has got to be bracing for some weather, or for some severe weather here. And like I said, you can see some hints of blue popping up here towards like Indiana, might be showing maybe a little bit of snowfall. Really starts to kick up here towards like, northern Ohio, maybe just the eastern portions here of Michigan, showing some potentially heavy snowfall across these areas as the system does kick its way up here to the northeast. And we are indeed going to be seeing some cold air actually returning to the eastern parts of the country. Nothing too crazy regarding that, but like I said, it is going to be a drop compared to what we're seeing here now. So obviously we got to be looking out for that. It shouldn't last too long. It should not last as long as that cold system we had in like the mid portions, the late portions of December. That was absolutely brutal. But luckily, that is not going to be anywhere. Like I said, obviously, luckily, that's not going to be anywhere near the same type of standpoint here with this with the system moving through. So, but where we took off here last time, so we were looking at the GFS and the European model here, cut out during, I believe, the GDPS model or the European model. So we track over here towards the models again. So let's hope that the stream stays on air for this one. So we track our way down in time. Now the European model does show the similarities between what the GFS and the European model has to say. There's a lot of similarities here. Perhaps maybe a little bit of snow moving into portions here of like southern Nebraska and the portions of Kansas as this low pressure system tracks its way up here to the northeast. Now you're going to notice that there's that cold front that's really going to start to fire off here, across portions of like eastern Texas and the portions of like Arkansas, moving through Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and eventually stretching up into portions of like the Carolinas, maybe portions here of Georgia, in which the severe storms are going to be possible here. Now, when it comes to the European model, there's a lot more projected snowfall for areas of Michigan, as you can actually see a lot more dark blue. That low pressure system is expected to remain under Michigan, perhaps throwing out the ideas of some more snow for those regions. Now, this is still the early talk between the models. There still is a bit of disagreement here for the most part. We take a look here at the Canadian model here, and this model in particular kind of shows a similarity between what the European model has to say, with that cold air reaching the back of it, potentially causing some snowfall to fall across portions of like Michigan. But what it looks like is that the majority of the Northeast, basically if you're in New York State and south for the most part, it looks like it's just going to remain rainfall. But areas for portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and especially Maine, I'd say you guys have a much better chance of seeing snow out of this event here, as you are going to be in the cooler air. So we'll definitely, like I said, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that. So, but that's what's going on there, my friends, and regarding to the models and such like that. With the Storm Prediction Center, we actually have ourselves some new updates through the Storm Prediction Center we're going to take a look at here right now. If we take a look here at tomorrow's outlook, we actually do have a severe weather risk for like Southern California. You can see that little dark green area here that is showing the possibility of a few tornadoes, maybe some gusty winds. But as we move into day 3, so obviously today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, and for Wednesday, which is this right here, this is for Wednesday. Areas in eastern Texas, portions of eastern Oklahoma, portions of Arkansas, southeastern portions of Missouri, and portions of southeastern Missouri might be at risk here for a few severe storms regarding such. Now, as we move into Thursday, that's for day 4, we actually have that severe weather risk here stretch its way to the east, where we do have an even higher risk for severe weather here for Thursday. For portions of Alabama and Georgia, these areas have got to be in the lookout. Obviously for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area, moving up here even just east of Huntsville, which Huntsville will probably be inside of the severe weather risk here for Thursday. But also including areas in Georgia, like Atlanta, kind of towards like Columbus region, towards Macon, Athens, and so on. So those areas here, we are going to be seeing, that continuation of the severe weather risk move its way towards the regions here. So obviously, that is what we are going to be watching out for, is the severe weather concerns. Because, like I said, there's honestly a lot of support within this. And like I said, there's actually the possibility of a few tornadoes, which I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here right now. So, all right, so switching on over here to my other site here. This is the COD meteorology site I always use, basically the College of DuPage. This is what I always look out for. I believe it's based off in Louisiana, or not Louisiana, Illinois. But anyways, regardless, we're taking a look here across the southeast here regarding everything. And like I said, there's a lot of things that come here when you look for severe weather. And first of all, we take a look at the energy, the available amounts of energy that is there in the atmosphere to possibly throw out some thunderstorms and maybe some severe thunderstorms. So really, like I said, we track our way down here in time. We get a lot of advection, a lot of warm and moisture-filled air, tracks its way up here into the southeast. And honestly, some isolated, some patchy areas could see over 1,000 to 1,500 mixed layer CAPE, which, like I said, I know that's going right over the top of your guys' heads. But what that basically means is that we have a lot of fuel, a lot of energy in the atmosphere to allow for severe storms to actually kick off across the ways. So everyone in the southeast here, like I said before, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Georgia, you guys have got to be watching out for the possibility of some severe storms. Now, here's another thing we look at. This is across the lower portions of the atmosphere, and you can see we have some pretty strong winds, around 50 knots, which is equivalent to about 60, or near 60, 65 mile an hour here, about 57 knots here. So with that being said, we have some very strong winds here towards the surface. Now, in this case, they're actually stretching here mostly to the east, northeast, or mostly to the northeast here. And as we go up in the atmosphere, the wind direction kind of remains the same. So honestly, like I said, you can see the winds, though, they do increase with elevation. And honestly, I would not be surprised, based off of what I've been seeing here over the last few days, is that the models have been trending the possibility of maybe some tornadic activity. I'm going to have to say that tornadoes could be possible out of this severe weather event here, in which we are going to have to just continue to watch here. Regarding the moisture at the surface, like I said, you need those dew points in the 60s, and we have just that with all the advection. A lot of warm air pulling up here from the south, like I said, here from the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, you're going to notice significantly more humid, once this advection starts. Once this warm air kick up from the Gulf starts moving north, you're going to notice a big change in humidity, and it's going to be very muggy outside. It's going to be nasty until the cold front moves through, as you can see there, obviously clearing out all those conditions, and it becomes more pleasant again, I should say. So anyways, but that's what's going on there. According to the models here, we have a decent amount of instability, a decent amount of energy here in the atmosphere. Same thing with the GFS model. This is the the long-range GFS model, and this one actually shows once again a decent amount of instability here. Perhaps some areas could reach up above 1,000 joules per kilogram, which you can see here. Obviously showing decent amounts of energy. Obviously showing the possibility of some strong storms and if not some severe weather concerns here. Like I said, that's why we have these severe weather risk here for Wednesday and Thursday, because like I said, Wednesday and Thursday, there is that risk here. So like I said, damaging winds, tornadoes, and hail will be a possible concern, and also even flooding. I mean, there's going to be a decent amount of potential rain out of the system here as well. We take a look here back at the GFS model, but we're going to take a look here at the total precipitation accumulation out of this here. I mean, honestly, this could deliver a decent amount of rainfall for portions of the country. Like I said, especially towards towards the Ohio Valley region, which we're going to take a look at here right now. As you can actually see, across the way, we have a big old streak of precipitation moving its way towards the area here. Towards like the Ohio Valley, moving into portions of like the northeast there. Perhaps we could see over an inch, maybe near 2 inches in some areas. Which, I mean, for some areas it's been pretty dry. That could be a problem. And so, like I said, it's nothing to compare across like California here, which it's been absolutely nuts. Like I said, California, I mean, you guys are in a very active trend right now, a very, very nasty trend here regarding precipitation. It's honestly ridiculous, the amount of precipitation that's been present across the Southwest. And like I said, unfortunately, it does not appear that that's going to be ending anytime soon, which I wish I had better news for you, but it does not appear that that is the case. So. But anyway, so basically, the point of this live stream, guys, is just to let you guys know there is the threat for severe weather here on Wednesday. Once again, across eastern Texas. This is just north of Houston. This is for areas east of Dallas. For the most part, far northeastern Texas included. This could bring some tornadoes, some large hail, some damaging winds. Eastern Oklahoma, mostly here just east of Tulsa for the most part. But once we move into portions of Arkansas, a lot of Arkansas here, like Little Rock, Arkansas, obviously towards like Fort Smith and those regions there, southeastern Missouri, western Kentucky there, western Tennessee, including Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi region, Shreveport area. Like I said, obviously those regions we are going to be seeing the severe weather threat for Wednesday. Once again, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds will be a possibility here. Then we move into Thursday. Like I said, for Alabama, Georgia, those areas in yellow has a pretty decent chance here of seeing some severe storms here. Yet again, once again, for areas here of Alabama, towards like Tuscaloosa region, Birmingham, Montgomery areas, Enterprise, moving into Georgia, towards like Atlanta, those surrounding areas south of like, towards like Dalton, south of Chattanooga, Tennessee, just barely included with that. But like I said, I mean, honestly, this is a system we are going to need to watch here. Like I said, it's going to have potentially multiple impacts regarding conditions across the country. Like I said, across the South, obviously, that's where the severe weather is kind of expected. Like I said, we combined basically the next few days' outlook. Like I said, here for Wednesday, all of these areas here has that severe weather risk. For Wednesday, then we move into Thursday, and that kind of extends it into these regions here. So a lot of places in the southeast, potentially could see some severe weather. And like I said, by tomorrow, we actually should have a better understanding. We should have even a better understanding. Now for Friday, there is no severe weather risk here because the cold front mostly moves out in time. So I think we'll be good here for Friday. But like I said, I'm mostly concerned for like Thursday, for portions of Wednesday and Thursday here. So we'll definitely need to watch out for these severe weather events here. And like I said, this also does bring the possibility of maybe a little bit of snow. Like I said, we take a look here back at the models. According to the majority of the models here, like I said, the GFS model, the long range American model here, kicking off some snow potential. Towards like Illinois, towards like Michigan. Maybe Ohio could see some snow out of this here, in which it's going to be something to watch out for. Actually, the latest model has been trending a little bit more to the south, which is good for areas, people who want snow. Obviously for like maybe possibly Kansas, maybe portions of like northern Missouri, southern Iowa, moving in through Illinois, in through central northern Indiana, maybe a lot of Michigan and portions of basically Ohio. Could be seeing this. Now, like I said, obviously areas here towards like Vermont, New Hampshire, as you can see, just before the main line of precipitation gets there, there is the possibility we could see a little bit of snow before that approaches, but then eventually that's going to turn into rainfall as we start to get influenced by those warmer temperatures pulling up here from the south. But eventually that will, the cold front will move through, and we might have a few snow showers afterwards, which it's going to be possible. I mean, it's definitely going to be possible. Like I said, we take a look at the GFS model, and you could see that pretty nasty, pretty wild-looking cold front that develops along the line here. Like I said, that's going to be the line where you start to see some storms. And like I said, I mean, honestly, this could move into like areas of Kentucky, maybe towards Tennessee. Once again, basically a lot of the southeast here is at risk for possibility of some severe storms and perhaps just thunderstorms in general. Areas that I would want to look out for regarding severe weather, and which areas that should be looking out for severe weather is eastern Texas. Once again, obviously eastern Texas is kind of that one point where it shows up there. So eastern Texas, portions of Oklahoma, southern Missouri, obviously Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. As of now, maybe coastal, maybe panhandle, Florida could be introduced by this. I'm going to go ahead and say maybe for Florida, and obviously the Carolinas potentially seeing some severe weather too as the cold front continues to advance its way here relatively eastward. So with that being said, guys, there's a lot of the southeast here. I mean, just seriously be watching out for some storm action here, basically for mid to later portions here of this week. So like I said, this is going to be happening this week. The majority of it, the big start of it's going to happen on Wednesday, and it's going to continue through Thursday before kind of cutting out here for the most part. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. But that's what we're talking about. Like I said, the latest GFS is, still kind of battling where the snow is going to be here for the most part. Like I said, it does show a decent amount of snow here towards Ohio, towards portions of Michigan even. But like I said, for the most part, the low pressure system is expected to remain mostly in Canada, and most of the snow is expected to remain there with it. Like I said, but a single shift down, a couple hundred miles down to the south, that low pressure system shifts down, that potentially could, drive some more snow totals for the states, and maybe areas here in the northeast could be watching out for that there. So, anyways, let's see, how is Ohio? My family lives there. So regarding Ohio, like I said, it really just depends on the track of that low pressure system. But overall, Ohio is going to be likely impacted by this here, potentially by some heavy rainfall and perhaps maybe some snowfall afterwards. After that cold front moves through. It's going to see what will West Virginia be getting out of this. So West Virginia potentially could be in the line for maybe some thunderstorms, perhaps, but probably nothing too severe. Obviously could be seeing a little bit of thunderstorm action, and then once the cold front moves through, maybe you could get a few snow showers. So kind of a really wild shift here in weather could be possible towards West Virginia here. But once again, it really just depends on how strong this low pressure system is, where this thing is located, and obviously how much moisture it's pulling up here. And that'll determine a lot more, in which we're going to have to continue this tomorrow. Like I said, obviously, we're going to have to continue this tomorrow with you guys to get more, short-range models, which I'm happy to say, by tomorrow night's update, we should have a lot more ground covering in the short-range models, which should be good. Like I said, should be definitely good here. But once again, like I said, if you guys have any questions at all, if you are worried for a specific area, guys, feel free to throw down a zip code. Like I said, we care about you. I want to make sure that you guys are prepared. Like I said, if you're worried about a specific location, like I said, if you guys are, say if there's a place that you know where severe weather could be possible, areas such as what we talked about in the southeast, if you're worried about it, just let me know and I can tell you the probability of having severe weather. I'll tell you if it's likely, if it's not really likely. like I said, we're here for you guys. We're here to expand our range with you guys, and like I said, obviously interact with y'all and make sure that you guys just understand what's going on. That's the big thing, is to make sure everybody knows what is going on across the country here. Let's see here. Weather Sim says 46038. So like I said, just throw down a zip code, guys, and we'll take a look at it. This one's for Indiana, right here towards Indianapolis. So once again, I mean, regarding this, regarding the weather here down in time for like Indiana, it could seriously drastically change. Like I said, at this point, it's expected to mostly be rainfall, but the latest runs, especially of GFS, is showing the potential of some snowfall towards the regions. Honestly, a little too early to be for sure. So just expect rain as of now. Think of snow, put the snow in the back burner as a possibility, but an unlikely approach. I mean, I wouldn't say really, it's just too early. It's as simple as that. It's just simply just too early to tell. And there's really no, there's basically no way of telling as of now. Based off of the models we got right now, I mean, we still have a lot of agreement to occur, for things to go here. Anyway, so next up, we're going to go ahead and bring back up on my thing here to look up a zip code. So next up, we have ourselves, let's see here, Fall Guys wants me to take a look here at 46567, 46567 across portions here. We just literally looked at that area. Let's see, 46567, right? Is that Syracuse, Indiana? Oh, maybe we just tracked a little bit more to the north here. For some reason, it brought me to Indianapolis for a second. But anyways, regardless, towards your area as well, kind of the same story for the most part. I mean, honestly, it's possible we could see a bit of snow on the back end of the system here. But like I said, I would not strictly count on it as of now. I would not really count on it. I'd just say keep an eye, like I said, if you're towards the regions there, just keep it on the back burner for now. Obviously, just keep it on the lookout. But like I said, if there's any sudden changes, in activity and stuff like that, if there's any sudden changes to where I think there's going to be more snow for those areas, we'll definitely let you know. You just got to remind us of the zip codes and stuff like that by tomorrow, because like I said, tomorrow we're going to have a lot more short, mid-range models coming out, and even basically just a lot of model support, which tomorrow should be a good day regarding the understanding of this event here. So, Vivian says, best weather channel. Well, thank you so much there, Vivian. Greatly appreciated. But like I said, I mean, if there's a specific area you guys want me to take a look at here, just simply tag down your zip code, and we'll be here for you guys. Like I said, we got you covered. We want you guys to be prepared. Like I said, a lot of areas here in the southeast, I mean, we're kind of a little bit questionable. Like I said, mostly across like these regions here for the most part. A little bit questionable for those areas. In the southeast, once again, like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, portions of Missouri, portions of Kentucky, and perhaps Florida, obviously Georgia we already talked about. Perhaps Florida in the Carolinas could be impacted here as well, which we are going to be keeping an eye out here for. But anyways, that's what we're looking at here. Let's see here. Morna says, good day, Andrew. Keep safe, America. Watching from Perth, West Australia. We're glad to have you here, Morna. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, hello from all the way across the world, pretty much. Hello from the United States. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. Megan says, tonight is another good night for me. I'm sorry to hear that, Megan. Keep getting know that. Okay. All right, well, Megan, well, obviously, sorry about that, and I will see you here in another live stream. Thanks for joining, though, and hopefully everything goes okay with you. Absolutely. But anyways, like I said, my friends, if there's any area you're questioning about, like I said, let us know. And like I said, right now, I mean, there's a lot of nasty stuff happening for California. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard the news lately. Whew, they've been dealing with a lot of nasty weather. I mean, constant. I mean, they're just getting battered after battered with just lines and lines of moisture moving through. Like I said, we're in a very active pattern for the southwestern United States to be getting some heavy rainfall. And like I said, I mean, the crazy part is that all this rain you see right now across California will be exited by tonight, but tomorrow, another round. By tomorrow morning, another round of rainfall is going to be moving through from a low pressure system just off the coast here. It's nuts. It's really, really nuts here. And like I said, for those upper elevations, towards like the Mammoth Lakes region, for the upper elevations, I should say, like I said, I mean, those areas are going to be seeing multiple feet of snowfall. They already likely have multiple feet of snow on the ground from the previous 1 million waves that have already moved through. And like I said, they're basically going to be continuing. It's like basically like a big old conveyor belt of moisture moving through. You know, we call this an atmospheric river. We just have a big line. You know, the Pacific jet stream is basically just lining straight up with California right now, just bringing in all the rain as possible. You know, it's really nuts here. Now, what do I think the outcome will be here for Missouri? That's a good question. So regarding for those areas towards like Missouri, it depends on where you're exactly out here in the state of Missouri. Now, for the southern portions, I can tell you right now, we actually do have a risk for severe storms on Wednesday. You know, it really just depends exactly where you're at. Now, if you're towards like St. Louis, you can see this light green area. There's a possibility of some thunderstorms. That's essentially what that light green shows us. The dark green is where severe thunderstorms become possible. Like I said, it really just depends on where you're at here for the most part. You know, areas of like East Prairie, Poplar Bluff there, West Plains, you know, Cape. Not even going to pronounce that area because I have no idea how you pronounce it. Those regions in the southeastern part of the state here is at risk. But like I said, that can still change. You know, that can still shift a bit more to the north here, in which it just depends on exactly where you're at. Then once we move into Thursday, like I said, that severe weather threat tracks its way to the east. Now, this is that level 2 out of 5. This is higher than that dark green threat. And honestly, that's just showing us that, you know, we'll likely have another area expended out in all directions by tomorrow. So once again, another reason by tomorrow we'll have a lot more better information regarding this system here for you guys. We'll have a lot more better info, you know, regarding timing, you know, regarding what we can expect here, as well as stuff like that, in which we are going to have to definitely continue to watch here. Like I said, I mean, this is going to be bringing a lot of impacts, you know, regarding things, like I said, between the severe weather across the south, the potential of snow across the north. I mean, right now, there's a lot of disagreement regarding snowfall, and I can show you guys that once again. You know, I can show you guys this here, you know, between the major models and stuff like that. I mean, there's just so much disagreement here, you know, for the most part. Let's go ahead and switch on over here now. So here's the GFS. Like I said, here's the long-range American model regarding, you know, stuff like that. Like I said, we track our way down here in time. We have that low-pressure system move through. That's going to be the driver of all the severe storms and stuff. Now, the latest GFS, the latest American model, does show some snow, as you can see there in the blue and the pink color, for portions of like Illinois, portions of Indiana, you know, basically southeastern Michigan, you know, a lot of northern Ohio, and eventually tracking into Canada. Also, areas for like Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine could see a bit of snow before that big line gets there. And once it does, it'll transition into rainfall for the most part. But like I said, you can see that cold front moving through there, that big long line of, you know, nastiness moving across the region. That could, once again, drive the severe weather across those areas. Now, with the European model, you know, regarding this here, this one is a little bit different, you know, regarding the overall views. It shows it mostly as rain, you know, kind of excluding snow for areas of like Illinois and Indiana, like the other model was showing. But this thing has it amplifying, pretty much for once we reach the night of the 13th here. Like I said, for areas here towards like Michigan could kick off pretty strong. Once again, for the most part, potentially could see, you know, some snow across those regions there. And like I said, you know, obviously Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire could be could be an area as well that we might need to watch out here for. But we'll definitely keep an eye out here for that, my friends. And like I said, if you got any questions, you know, make sure to let us know. You know, we are going to be here for you guys. You know, we got you guys covered. I want you guys to be safe out there. Like I said, obviously, you know, we're going to be here for you. If you're new to the channel, guys, consider hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. And like I said, just know we're here for you. Just know we got you covered. You know, I want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to be prepared. And we'll do anything it takes to make sure that you guys are ready to rock. But anyways, so this is going to go ahead and be a final, like I said, a final thing. If you guys have any more questions, let us know right now. And then, like I said, if not, we're going to head off here for tonight. But like I said, tomorrow's live stream will be a lot more informative. We'll have a lot more information here for tomorrow and stuff like that. So if you guys will be interested in hearing about the weather here for tomorrow and stuff like that, like I said, consider subscribing. Be greatly appreciated and stuff like that here. So once again, everybody, just stay safe out there. Hayden says, I was watching football and then you went live. Well, obviously, I hope that your football game's going pretty good there, Hayden. Let's see. Becca says, I'm so sorry I'm late, but what's up with Tennessee? So Tennessee is in the line of interesting. I'm just going to leave it at that here. For portions on like Wednesday, there's a possibility, depending on where you're at in Tennessee, like Western Tennessee for Memphis region, we could see some severe weather across the regions. I'd even say for Thursday, for like southern and central portions of Tennessee, could see some severe weather as well. Before or as this low pressure system tracks its way into the central part of the country. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about here. Anyways, let's see here. Nashville, says Becca. So regarding, towards like the Nashville area, yeah, it's possible. I'm going to leave you in the possibility of seeing maybe a few strong to severe storms, in which we'll just have to continue to see here. Ready or Not says, thanks so much, man. We will see you tomorrow. Yeah, no problem. Well, it looks like everybody is all right. Let's see here. Zion wants me to look at here, Columbus, Georgia. Yeah, so Columbus, Georgia, you're in the big risk here for Thursday. So for you, Zion, or Zion, however you say your name, you're just relatively here towards Columbus, Georgia. Like you said, you're in the yellow. And like I said, that's a pretty decent threat for severe storms here. I'm talking on Thursday. So be on the lookout for Thursday, as severe weather is going to be possible for you. Let's see here. Colorado always has snow up on the mountains, and I miss it. Yeah, it does. And the same thing for the West, what's happening now. I mean, if you miss snow, California, the upper mountains is the place you want to be right now. Actually, probably not. It's probably crazy. Like I said, we've probably seen several feet of snow falling across portions here, the upper portions of California. And like I said, there's just more waves, more and more waves of precipitation to move through and stuff like that. So it's just been absolutely hectic, over the last week or two. And it's expected to remain that. The pattern is we have that Pacific jet stream driving right into California, which is just horrible. Just a big old jet stream of moisture moving through. So, unfortunately, that's kind of the trend. That's kind of the pattern we're at right now. But all right, my friends. Well, I think that is going to go ahead and, like I said, I think that's the point where we are going to head off here for right now. Like I said, if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you crush that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. It'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. Sorry about the live stream cutting out earlier. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Having some issues. Hopefully that gets resolved here soon. We don't want to have to deal with that anymore. Let's see. What about East Central Indiana? So Emily, for you, honestly, like so, we were actually looking at Indiana earlier. Indiana could go different ways. It could either just be snow, or it could either just be pure rain, or there is a possibility we could see maybe a little bit of snow mixing in with it. Or potentially a lot of snow. Like I said, there's a lot of unknowns for Indiana right now. It could turn out to just be rain, or it could turn out to be snow and rain, or perhaps maybe mostly snow. Once again, it's just simply too early to tell. A single track, for you, if you want snow, you want that low pressure system to track further south, in which we're going to have to watch out here for. Let's see here. We have had snow on the ground for over a week, very unusual for Falcon, Colorado. Gotcha. But all right, my friends. Well, once again, thank you all so much for joining us. And once again, thank you guys. Greatly appreciate it. If you have not already, absolutely crush that subscribe button. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy it. Once again, thank you so much here. What's the weather for Mount Illinois, says Kyle. Okay, so 4 portions here of Illinois. So just Illinois in general, I'm going to tell you this. Kind of the similarity of what the, what I was talking about with Indiana. We can take a look here at a few models. Like I said, here towards Illinois, it shows some rainfall for the most part, maybe backing in with some snowfall at the end of this event here. Really depends on a lot of factors. So I tell you what. So for you there, Kyle, just keep, or sorry, you said mountains. So yeah, just keep an eye out for wherever you're at here in Illinois. Like I said, regardless, there's a possibility of the same thing happening across the state here. We'll just have to see how things evolve. Like I said, expect rain, but there's a chance of some snow. Out of this here. And like I said, we're just going to need to work things out. We'll have a much better idea tomorrow. So Kyle, just let us know tomorrow when we go live, sometime around 9, 10 o'clock Eastern. And I'll, we'll look that back up, and I'll tell you what the newest trend looks like. All right, my friends. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and head off here for tonight. Like I said, we've been live here for about 35 minutes. Just want to give you guys a quick little update here regarding the weather and stuff like that. Once again, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate you guys will stay up to date on the latest weather information, stuff like that. Like I said, we go live here every night with the weather news. Everything that you guys need to know regarding, systems and stuff like that, we track them far out. And I can tell you what, we are pretty daggone accurate here. You can ask a lot of our subscribers. Typically, we don't like forecasting 5 days out. Anything past that, because honestly, models just aren't that good enough. But But like I said, we're here for you. No matter what, we got you covered. If there's a severe weather event, I will let you guys know plenty of time in advance to prepare for it. But once again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope you all have an amazing rest of your night. And we'll catch you guys here tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. See you then.
Clear skies. The temperature was 42 degrees Fahrenheit, or 6 degrees Celsius. Dew point 22. Humidity was 44%. Winds were northwest at 7 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure was 30.06 inches, or 1,017.9 millibars, and steady. Now for some observations from the surrounding area. At BWI Marshall Airport, clear skies. Temperature 39. Winds west at 7 miles an hour. At Charlottesville, fair skies. 41. At Dulles Airport, clear. Temperature 33 degrees. Winds north at 3 miles an hour. At Fredericksburg, fair. Temperature 32. At Martinsburg, fair skies. 34. Wind southwest at 10 miles an hour. At Norfolk, fair. Temperature 44 degrees. At Ocean City, fair skies. It was 38 degrees. At Pawtuxet River Naval Air Station, fair. Temperature 44. At Quantico, fair skies. Temperature 37. Winds west at 3 miles an hour. For Richmond, fair skies. It was 40. At Roanoke, fair. Temperature 38 degrees. At Winchester, fair. Temperature 34. At New York, fair skies. 40. At Philadelphia, fair skies. 38. At Raleigh, fair skies. 38. Now for a few observations on the waters. At Washington Channel, the wind was northwest at 6 knots, and the water temperature was 43 degrees. At Piney Point, the wind was north at 9 knots. At Thomas Point, the temperature was 42 degrees. Wind west at 8 knots. Here is a look at the weather features that will affect the region over the next several days. High